It's not about my client. I could care less about my client. It's how do we make my client's client like the website? How do they use the website? So we sat down with her and we built this website for her. Fast forward to 2013, she wants a new theme. She wants to compete with all of her competitors, and that really makes sense to me. I understand. So she finds this theme, Genesis, go Genesis, ow! All right, so she finds this theme and she's like, wow, I think my site needs to look like this. Her website is the blue one, her competitors is on this side. I hate saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. The theme on the left, the blue one, it's kind of old. It's kind of the way WordPress used to look. A lot of themes were built this way. And she has some great material, and she could be the smartest lady in the world. But the website, the red one, it looks prettier, so people think they know more. This is a big thing that's going on in WordPress and websites in general. If it looks better, people are going to use it. I think that's not the case. But to my client, she felt like she needed to upgrade her site. So my client, she jumps on the Google. She gets up there and she finds this website. She finds this blog. It had some really good advice. The only problem is the advice was written in 2009. So already the advice that she's getting does not pertain to her whatsoever. Anyway, she reads this blog and it says if you want to change the look of your WordPress site, just change your theme. Click this link. She clicks this link. And the next blog post says, hey, I know a third-party source. They're selling WordPress themes for 30% off. She goes, sweet, I just saved 30%. This is awesome. So she buys a theme, installs a theme, activates a theme, and she looks at her homepage. Which brings us back to here. This is a really good friend of mine, the client, and we're on good terms now, so she gave me a better picture. In real life, it was really quick. I missed the initial first middle finger, so I'm really glad she helped me out with this. This is the way WordPress used to look. How many people had a blog like this? How many people on WordPress.com, or maybe you had your own .org? What's really cool about these themes is there was no work involved if you wanted to switch. Maybe the hardest thing you had to do was go back into your menus and tell the new theme to use this menu, and like you had to upload your logo. Other than that, all of your content transferred. So the article that my client reads, it says, hey, just change your theme and your content is gonna stay the same. And that was true when themes like this existed. They still exist, I don't wanna throw that out there, I don't wanna speculate, but now we use these grand themes. These are incredible, right? The only problem with themes like these, my only issue with buying a theme is, you don't know how the back end of this theme works. On the outside, this looks great. This is exactly what my business needs to look like. When you activate the theme, you install a theme, you go to the admin panel, you have no idea what's going to happen. These are two very similar magazine themes, okay? The one right here, the blue one, this theme runs off of just posts, and you select categories, and that's how you get each different column and each different feed. The theme on the right, the green one, it runs off of so many custom post types, it's stupid. So you have this theme, and maybe you like this theme better, so you activate the theme, but what happens is now all your posts disappear, because this theme is pulling from bucket B, and the other theme is pulling from bucket A. So that's my problem with themes and changing things and trying to do more with less, and all these things you read on these blog posts. You can do more with your theme already. You don't need to keep buying the theme over and over. Just because the link is blue and this one's red and you want the red one. You can turn it that color. Here's another thing. This is something my client went through. These are short codes. Who doesn't know what a short code is? All right, two. All right, 3, okay. So a short code is basically, it fills in for a longer piece of code, right? You already do this with the WordPress gallery. When you put all your galleries in, it gives you a small little piece of code. If you actually view the source on the actual page, the source is huge. So short codes replace long codes. That's what's really cool. there's not really like a standard way to do shortcodes yet. If I'm a theme developer, I can build my shortcodes any way I want. Another theme developer, he can build his shortcodes any way he wants. So when you activate themes and you have shortcodes on different pages, your shortcodes are going to break when you go to mine, or mine's going to break when I go to yours. That's a big problem. That's why I want a plugin to handle shortcodes, not my theme. I want a plugin to handle most of the work. So in case whatever happens and I have to switch to the default theme, all my stuff is going to stay the same. An example is, here's another theme, completely different theme. So you can see this right here. How easy is this little shortcode? It's really simple, it's really small, it's easy to copy. And that's just for a button. But to do half columns, to split information directly halfway down the page, it's a lot of code. That's a lot just for a shortcode, just to make something happen. But again, these two themes are very different. So if you have your about page that looks like this and you switch to a theme, your stuff breaks. Which brings us back to here. I just love her. She's awesome. It turned out all my client wanted to do, she just wanted to put a featured image above the title of the blog, and she wanted to put some author meta. That's all she wanted to do. She didn't need a new theme for that, but she didn't know that. She read a blog post from 2009, 2010 that said, you want to do that, you should go buy a theme, and she clicked on an affiliate link to a third-party site. That person got paid to give her bad advice. So if you're going to research and try to read blogs and tutorials on how to do something, check the date. Make sure it's current. It's really funny. I had no idea what I was going to speak about when I was writing this. She called me and said, "Oh, I'm going to talk about her. That's awesome." Flip me off. All right. So what happened is as I'm writing this, I realized that every tutorial or every blog post somewhere on the page should tell you what version of WordPress this information is for. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't it be cool if you clicked on a blog post and says, hey, this is for 2.5. Oh, well, I'm on 3.8. Bye. That would be really cool. We don't do that because we're so into search. We want our blog posts, even if it doesn't matter anymore, we want it to show up so people will land on our site. I think it'd be really cool if we could start steering our people and telling them, hey, this is old information, it's good information, but it doesn't pertain to the new version of WordPress. I think us as developers and users, we can get that going, and that's something that no other CMS or any kind of platform as it is doing. They don't tell you what it's for. Maybe some people do, but there's not a big button that says, hey, 2.5, don't use it. So it turns out this is all my client wanted to do. As a web developer, this is actually one of my favorite pictures. I was going to use a picture of John Hawkins and I didn't. As a web developer, I see things a little differently than my clients or my users. My users, they like to tell me, hey, your color should be blue instead of pink. They like to tell me all that kind of stuff. I look at the back end of it and I'm like, oh man, I'm not caching right. I need to do this. So it's a huge debate, or it's a huge thing in my life that I want to tell people, if you just see things a little differently, you can do really anything that you want. You don't have to keep hiring or firing, and you don't have to keep buying themes every year just because something looks a little different. Which leads me to, your theme can do that too. So getting back to my client, all my client really needed is this plugin right here. This plugin is called What Template File Am I Viewing? Our own John Hawkins contributed to this. This is why I use it. Go John Hawkins. What this does is, in the WP admin bar, on your home page or on your about page, it tells you the file path to the template. So you can see right here, I guess you can't see, we can zoom it in. You guys can see the slides later. But it tells me that the page that I'm viewing is in a folder called Themes, a folder called VWM Holiday, another folder, and then to my file template. If I want to make changes to that page and just that page alone, now I know where to go to do it. A lot of the problem is when you have somebody who wants to do the work but they don't know how to do it, they just go a different direction. I'll just buy a theme that's easier. Here's a free plugin that works on any WordPress blog. and it tells you where the file path is. Now that we have that, this is a WordPress cheat sheet. This is awesome. There's a link down here. I'll give you guys the link to the share file later. This is a WordPress cheat sheet. If you want to know what the code is to get a link, the code to get the blog info, the code to get whatever it is you're trying to do, you can copy this, drop this right to your template. Just like that, WordPress has defined codes for you. You don't know how to get the author bio? That's fine. WordPress will tell you how to do it. Who doesn't know the codex? Anybody here doesn't know the codex? One guy? All right, we're going to hook up later, I promise. The codex spits out this code for you. Somebody already did the work. That's what I like about WordPress. Somebody already did it. I don't have to, backtrack and redo it. Taking these two plugins, what template file am I viewing, and then taking this cheat sheet right here, I already have all the tools I need to help my client with their template. So we see, let's say this is her blog post. This is going to be on a template called single.php. Awesome, now we know what we're trying to do. She wants to put a thumbnail above or below the link, the title of the blog. If we open up single.php, we're going to look for one thing. She wants to put a picture above or below the title, so we're going to look for the title. We find the title, now we want to get the post thumbnail, and we just drop the code in right there. And then you get the author, and it just spits out the name. This doesn't spit out all the credentials, it just shows you the name of the author who wrote the post. You save it and you upload it, now your theme does that too. It took 5 minutes to do this. You install a plugin, look at a cheat sheet, find the template, upload it. Your theme now, just like that, does exactly what she was trying to do. That's way easier than installing a theme, going and changing all the short codes, maybe installing another plugin that that theme depends on. This is way easier to do. But a lot of people get scared because they think, I don't know. And if I don't know, maybe somebody else knows, but I'm not going to ask. You can ask me anytime you want. At the Vegas WordPress meetup here, I help lots of people just accomplish what they're trying to do. Really simple, easy questions. I'm going backwards. Pretty awesome, right? So now let's do something a little cooler. Is that a word, cooler? We're going to use it. Here's the theme, and I want to put a Google map into my theme. If you go and let's say you go to a third-party site, notice how I'm not saying Theme Forest. Let's go to a third-party site, and you can see a live demo. And looking at a live demo, I can pretty well guess how they made something, how they did something. I trained my brain to do that. I'm really interested in how things work. So here's this contact page, and I want to make it look like this. It's actually really simple if you think about it. So here's this contact page, okay? Really simple. You see the title at the very top inside of the breadcrumbs. This is just a standard WordPress template, so it's just the default template. It's got the content on the left, a standard sidebar on the right. All we did was we put some fancy words in an H1. We put some other supporting words into a paragraph, and then we dropped a gravity form, contact form, into this theme. Why? Because they listened to us, and we told them gravity forms is awesome. But here's the end goal that we're trying to get to. We're trying to put this Google map on top of it. As a developer, like I said, I see things. So looking at this, I know that all of this content is wrapped into one div, and this div is called container. So if I want to duplicate that, all I have to do is copy that small little piece of code, place it above the top of this one, and end it, just like we're going to do here. Just like that, I create this space for my Google content, or for my Google map. Just like that. And again, using that plugin, I can find out the name of the template that I'm trying to view. Now we just jump over to Google Maps. I look for my business, or I try to find the location that I want, and Google Maps spits out the code for me. So now I copy that code, and I paste it into the template, again, save it, upload it, and just like that, my theme now does this too. I didn't have to buy another theme again. I didn't have to research and research. I just did it. I found a tutorial actually on how to do this, so I kind of stole that from him. But now my theme does this too. You can even take it a step further. You can, let's say it's on contact.php. That's the template that plugin told us that we're going to edit. You can take that template, copy it, and then rename it to contact1.php. And then right here where it says default post template, you just change that name to new contact form. Now when you go into Pages and you go to create your contact form, when it says what template do you want to use, you just find that new name. Automatically, you're using this template now. Now all you have to do is just drop in your content in the regular WordPress editor and hit publish, and now your contact page looks just like this. This took me like maybe 5 minutes to do when I first started. Now it's like, a 13 kind of second thing. But your theme can do this too. Just because you see something doesn't mean that you have to go and buy this template to make it do that. So now, when you see things like this, I love this lady. I love drunk ladies like this. She makes me laugh. I was at a wedding like this. When you see a template like this, though, you're not going to be afraid of it anymore. I can look at this and say, I see the header. I see where the WordPress menu is. WordPress, inside of the codex, they give you the code for the menu. So now you know, okay, it's in a div. I'm going to center that div, and I'm going to drop the menu. Just like that, you already have the header built, right? You see this large image, you know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, you view the source. You can take their stuff. It's just code, they don't own the copyright to it. I can take this code, copy it, and pass it off as my own theme. That's what I love about WordPress. I don't do that, by the way. This is my buddy Doug. I was just in London and Ireland for a week. This is my buddy Doug. You can tell because there's a finger pointing to him. He's a phenomenal street artist. His cousin is actually like a really famous graffiti artist that we won't name to keep him secret. He runs this WordPress blog, and he just shows different graffiti artists. He goes out every night and just takes pictures of brand new art that just popped up overnight. He's got a tremendous blog. It's insane. He's got some of the best work I've ever seen. That's what I love about street art. Some of it only exists anymore through photos because street art gets taken down so quick. So he's giving us this tour and he's taking us around, and I pull up his blog on my phone and I said, Doug, it's broken. What happened? Why is your WordPress site down? And he looks at me and he goes, how do you know it's WordPress? I said, come on, dude. I know it's WordPress. I said, what happened? And he goes, I found this theme and I'm trying to do something, so I bought it and I installed it and all my stuff broke. But wow. I can help you with this. I gave the guy my card. In about maybe 30 minutes, his site was back up and running because his theme is identical to the one he bought. He just wanted a different style sheet. He wanted a few things from pink to blue, from green to red, and he wanted like the featured image above the post. I saved that guy money. He got a refund. Just like that, I helped somebody halfway around the world just by looking at his blog. But now this guy writes me all the time, hey, how do we do this? How do we do this? Now he does it on his own. Now he's like, hey, look what I did. And he sends me an email and it's like, thank you. He doesn't, fund me through PayPal, but he can do that. And then here's a picture of the Queen. I met the Queen. That's awesome. Hope I don't break anything. Okay, so here's what I really want to show you. Bring this up. How many people know Asana? Awesome, a few people. Asana is like a really cool way to keep task management, project management. Dustin Moskovitz, anybody know that name? Co-founded Facebook. Now you all know that name, huh? He started this. This is a tremendous website. I love this website. I use that word again, but I love this website. It's running Bootstrap. The theme that I'm running is using Bootstrap, and I know that. I looked at the source code. I viewed some things. It told me. We talked. We had a heart-to-heart. I found this and I said, wow, I really like this. I really like this video, and it's really cool when you click on it, like another YouTube video pops up and it plays, and said, he's got Bootstrap, I've got Bootstrap, that should work on my theme. Just like that, I did go out and like go to Theme Forest and find a theme that does this. There's some great themes that do this already, but I built this into my theme because I already put another 10, 12 hours into the theme I had already. I already did some special work for the company. So you can see, here's what mine does, just like that. I'm doing the same thing. I copy them. Again, they don't own the code. You can do this. And now my theme does this. I saved $45. That's what you can get Geico. No, I saved themes, right? Thank you, I'll be here all week. Anyways, now my theme does this. I'm using Bootstrap, they're using Bootstrap. Why can't it work? Before, this is what my theme looked like when I first started. This is, it's called Bootstrap by Rachel Baker. It's actually bootstrapwp.rachelbaker.me. This is free. This is based on an older version of Bootstrap. She tells us, she's really cool, she's on my good list. But I know that anything I see that's Bootstrap or Bootstrap related, or even if it's not, I know how to duplicate it, because Bootstrap gives me some tools. If not, I can read a tutorial on how to do it. If not, I'll just use HTML5, and I'll do it myself. But anything can be duplicated. It's a little dark, I apologize. How many people here know Austin Passy? Does anyone know Austin? He's actually in the other room, so we should all go harass him later. He wrote this action right here. What this does is, this is the same thing that that plugin does. So if the plugin doesn't work on your site for whatever reason, you can copy this code. He gives you a detailed instruction on what to do. You can drop this into your theme, and it spits out the same information. It tells you what the file path to the template is. I wanted to give you guys two options, just in case for whatever reason the plugin didn't work. You can drop this into your functions file, upload it, and now your theme does that too. Let's get back into a slide. You guys like how I didn't pay for Microsoft? Somebody got it. All right. So looking at these themes, I'm really big into custom post types right now. Most like amazing premium themes, all they're doing is using a custom post type. Who doesn't know what a custom post type is? A few people. All right, we'll hang out too. You're invited. A custom post type is when you go into the WordPress admin and you see where it says posts and pages, you create a custom one that says whatever you want it to say. You can say entertainment. You can say my awesome post. You can do that. Did you know that? See, you learned something cool today. All right. So you look at like themes and you look at like portfolio themes, and all they're doing is like a custom post type onto a custom template, and then they're dropping some custom information into that post and displaying it. That's all they're doing. This is really cool. I like this magazine theme a lot. What it's doing is inside of WordPress, it has a custom post type for every single one of these. So it has travel, it has entertainment, it has games, it has food. When you log into the WordPress admin, you put your post into that right there. You don't go to all posts and then assign it a category. You go to the food posts and then assign it a category. So what you're doing is you're putting all your posts into different buckets instead of one big bucket and breaking it up. She's giving me a thumbs up. I like this lady. When you see like portfolio themes, let's jump on a few right now. I want to show you some really basic stuff that I do that I see and I'm like, we can duplicate that in about 5 minutes. Here's a one-page, it scrolls, it's all one page. It doesn't have multiple page templates. That's cute, it's got a wheel. Awesome. So looking at this is a WordPress theme, okay? Looking at this, I hope as of right now, you're already looking at this saying, I know how to put this together. Or I have a really good idea on how to put this together. It's got a logo, right? So we know how to put a logo in it. There's the menu. We know that, okay, WordPress gives us the menu. We know how to create the div for it. But how do we get these little diamonds? How do we get these cool things? And how do we make them hover like this? There's code. Somebody already did this. I guarantee you that this person who built this theme did a wonderful job, but he copied somebody else's code and built that into his theme. That's what a lot of premium themes do. They take existing code or a theme they built 10 years ago and just modify it and pass it off as another name, or maybe they say it's version 2.0, but that's all they're doing is upgrading a theme. So why are you buying a new theme every 3, 4, 5 months when you can just modify your theme as well? That's what's really cool. If you can find your local meetup, just go to meetup.com and look for whatever city you live in. Look in for a meetup.com. You can go there, and people like myself live there. I basically live there. But they will help you do this. Like, I don't know a single person to a meetup that I've been to that has just ever said, no, I'm not going to show you how to do that. They might make you do it so you learn, but they're still going to show you. You can still accomplish things. And when you start building your own stuff, you see things in a whole different light. And that's what I really hope that everybody here does. I want you to look at things in a whole different light. Don't look at this and see, oh, I see a pretty picture. When I look at this, my brain looks like this. This is what Google sees, by the way. Everybody else sees a pretty picture. I'm looking at the source code. I'm trying to figure out, how do I do this? That's how I figured out that Asana is using Bootstrap. I looked at the source code. They had a div container with the same div container I had. I started getting into some more JavaScript stuff, and I started following their CSS, and it said bootstrap.css, and I said, I got you. You can't hide from me. It's in the source. They weren't trying to hide it, but your theme shows you something different. The source code shows you what's actually happening, and that's what I like about developing. I like being able to see what other people are doing. How many people know that you can view the source and see what plugins somebody's using? Cool, quite a few people. That's awesome. How many people can guess what plugin maybe somebody's using before they view the source? A few people. It keeps getting smaller. I like this. How many people just search for plugins before they actually write down a plan? I like that guy right there. That's something that you need to do before you start installing WordPress, before you just go do a quick install and set WordPress up. Write a plan down. Once you write a plan down, you can say, hey, I need a membership plugin that does this, and you can go and find it. If you don't write a plan, all the membership plugins look great. You have no idea which one works. You have no idea which one is custom tailored to you. So, you just spent $200 on membership plugins to find out that none of them work, and you could use the Facebook plugin, and that solved your problem. So, I want you guys to write a plan. Once you write a plan, then you can start finding things. Once you find a theme, stick with it. Please stick with it. You can change colors. You can add a Google map to the homepage. You can find this plugin that's going to add a slider to the homepage. You can do it yourself. And when you do it yourself, you're going to have a better feeling using WordPress. And that way, you come here, and now you go sit in the developer room. Because they're doing some really fantastic stuff over there. I want everybody here next year to be in that developer room. I want you guys to learn how to use SVN. I want you guys to learn how to use GitHub. All these things that sound like big words, they're not big words. You just have to start building it, and then you're like, I know what a taxonomy is. What are you doing on time? 10? 9? Can we do 8? Is that an option? Just want to know. So let's open it up to questions. Who's got a question? Anybody got a question? This guy.
I assume that it's not working.
You would be right on that assumption.
Hello. I assume that, oh shit, I did hear that. No, I assume when you go to, if you have a regular theme and you go to, if there's a new version of your theme to update it, you don't do that. Or do you use child?
That's why you write out a plan. What am I going to do? You can contact the developer through ThemeForest and say, do you plan on updating this? Yeah, in 6 months we're going to update it. Great, I should child theme it. But I actually know Rachel Baker, and I said, are you ever going to update this? And she said no. So I made my changes inside of that theme. But when you have a plan, you can actually, I would recommend child theming it. Just that way, if you make modifications and that does happen, you already have an answer to a solution, and you're not going to spend the next like 3 nights pulling your hair out. No pun intended. Questions? Come on in. Someone else got a question? All right, thank you guys.
Good. Russell Aaron. We're going to take about 10 minutes, and we'll be back. And then lunch.